Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel Crane, and I am the Program Director at the Center for Creative Entrepreneurship. And you are listening to Global Industry Spotlight, a conversational series focused on providing resources and insight for the creative entrepreneur. We are streaming live out of the Comcast Business Startup Studio, a room designed for Chicago's small business community located at 2112, Chicago's first music, film, and tech incubator. The Global Industry Spotlight today is on Brice Albin, radio host, TV presenter, content producer, voiceover, founder and CEO of YProd, a full-service production company focusing on content production and development of cultural and creative industries in Cameroon. Brice has equally been the Cameroon correspondent for the program Couleurs Tropicales by Radio France International since 2013. In addition to this, he is the brand ambassador for the highly esteemed Cognac Brand, Hennessy. I am excited to begin the conversation today with Brice. Hi, Brice.
Yes, hi Daniel. Hello Daniel. Hello everybody. Very grateful to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah. So, short story for everyone. I met Brice here at 2112. He was visiting the U.S. It seemed like doing research on how he wants to approach entering the U.S. market after what it seems like a very successful career in Cameroon and basically in West Africa. All the different things that you talked about you were doing. I was very impressed, and we connected over Afro beats and the explosion of of Nigerian culture, and it was just such a wonderful conversation. But just to get started, Brice, can you give us a little bit of your background, and everyone, just to let you know, he's live from Cameroon right now, which is wonderful. So.
Yeah, so I am Brice Albin Yamedzeu. I was born in Bafoussam in Cameroon. It's a little city in the west part of Cameroon. Radio host since 2005. Radio host since 2005 and TV host since 2015. So I run a production company. The name of the company is YProd. Since 2015, and I launched my company at this time because I was very passionate about culture, about music, and about media, and I wanted to bring something to the industry, creative industry in Cameroon in particular, and in Africa in general. So I work between Cameroon and Paris because, as you told at the introduction, I am also correspondent in Cameroon for RFE, and sometimes we produce content in Paris.
Yeah, and so you have this. I mean, what I love about Brice is everything that he's interested in, I'm also interested in, which is music, and cultural things, and how to promote culture within cities. And you're coming from the Cameroon, aspect of like, how do we promote culture from where I'm from, and being able to expand that outside of Cameroon into other places, obviously, the US and in general. But can you talk a little bit about your connection too with being the ambassador for Hennessy, and how that kind of came about, and what that meant for you, or how that helped kind of grow your business?
Okay, so first of all, you have to know that the content production business is very little from now in Africa, in Cameroon, in Central Africa in general, and in Cameroon in particular. We don't have many TV channel who can buy content, and it's just now that platform like Netflix or Amazon can come to Africa to buy content. So we have many difficult to finance content production in Cameroon. And I meet people from Hennessy in Cameroon around 2018, and we talk about the production of my TV show. I had a concept of a TV show. The name of the concept is Chill, is conversation like our conversation around a glass of Hennessy. So that was my proposal to Hennessy, like launch a show with people from the entertainment industry to talk about their career, to inspire people around the continent and around the world. So they was very glad about the proposition. And so Hennessy is the sponsor of my TV show since 2018. And in 2020, so last year, they proposed me to be brand ambassador for the brand, to inspire young African leaders around the continent who want to work in the creative industry. So the name of the last campaign is the All I Need campaign, the last campaign of Hennessy, and we are 7 creative entrepreneurs on the continent, brand ambassador now for Hennessy.
Yeah, talk a little bit, and this is something that I'm just really curious about, the creative industries in general coming out of Cameroon. I mean, obviously Africa is a massive place, so but just in general, there seems to be, I know a lot of like the World Bank and IFC, and there's some like kind of funding or eyes looking at Africa as really the next place of
the next frontier.
Yeah, the next frontier of building creative industries. Can you talk about this transition? So you're saying, okay, Cameroon doesn't have the outlets. Content creation is kind of a new thing here. What is the feeling now? What is the vibe now there?
It's changing now. You told about Nigeria a few minutes ago. Cameroon is a bilingual country, so we speak in Cameroon French in English, but the main language is French. So Cameroon is more a French-speaking country, and people in the English-speaking part of the continent are more in connection with funding on the content creation. So we don't have now many organizations who put money actually in the industry in the French part of the continent. One of the main partners of the content creation is Canal+. Canal+ is a French international TV. They are mainly present in France and in the French-speaking country in Africa, and they support many content creators now in Africa for TV series, for movies, and for shows also. So many big content creators in the French part of Africa are working now with Canal+. So the other possibility of funding is, like me, sponsors. Right. So because the TV station in French-speaking country in Africa don't buy content, so if you want to sell content and make money with content, you have to sell your content to an international platform like Canal+, or find a sponsor who can support the funding and the creation of your contents.
And one of the funding being Hennessy, which funded your
Hennessy, yes,
right.
Hennessy.
And that was kind of an example of that partnership of finding a company to come and sponsor a show or support the content.
Yes, so Hennessy is the sponsor. So Hennessy is the sponsor of my show, Gene. So during the show, the guest and me, I'm the host of the show. We drink. We have a bottle of Hennessy on the table, and the ads of the All I Need campaign is also released in the show. And we also produce content for brand. For example, Orange is a large telecommunication company in French-speaking countries. So it's a French company. We produce for Orange an entrepreneurship TV show. The name of the show is Debré 237. The host of the show receive many entrepreneur guests it's very large. So people in the wood industry, people in the drink industry, people in media, etc. And we produce also for another brand. The name of the brand is Origin, a show with celebrities. So we in the show we give the background of the celebrity. So where they was born, how they grow up, and where they take their inspiration. So with this brand. So from now the main funding of our content is sponsors, is brand.
Okay. And how have you, what has been some of the keys for your success in growing and connecting with these brands and growing YProd?
I think the first key was networking. I think the first piece was networking. Be curious. I am an eternal learner. It's because of that I was at your office to meet you, to talk with you, and to meet new people, to grow my network and my connections. And is to think about what people want to watch and what brand want to figure out, like what brand want to show to the customer. So in the content we produce now, we try always to connect the two. So to permit to the brand to touch people exactly where and how they want, and also at the same point to inspire people with concepts. For me, my main goal is really to inspire. It's because of that I like interviews. It's because of that I like exercise like what we are doing right now, because telling stories for me is the best way to inspire people. So what I try to do since the beginning of my career as a radio host and since the beginning of my company is to tell story, tell real people's story to young African.
Yeah, and I here in Chicago also work a lot on storytelling, and I think it's important, as cultural ambassadors of wherever you're from, to draw those stories out of people, whether it be entrepreneurs or musicians or sports athletes, because the sharing of the human experience, like you said, is inspiring for anybody, no matter where they're from, and it also makes the side note of it is when you tell honest stories of people, it makes great content. People can connect with something that is truthful. And I think that's really important when building authentic, brands or authentic stories, that there's an element or a truth to it.
Yeah. It's the right word, I think. Is authenticity, to tell authentic people stories.
Yeah. Okay. So you're in Cameroon. You build up. You're a radio host. You're having some success. Now you come to the U.S. to kind of see what's going on over here. Tell me or tell us what's next and what the vision is for YProd and you.
Okay, so the vision for YProd is to continue to tell African stories around the world. And I was in the US to learn, to meet people like you, to make contacts with some platform like Netflix, like Google, like Prime, because we need now these connections in our countries in the French-speaking country in Africa. The business is growing up very now in Africa. Like Netflix is funding many contents in South Africa. Actually, have partnership with content production company in Nigeria. We have right now like 4 movies on Netflix and 1 movie on Amazon Prime. So we want now to continue to work with brand, but to be able also to work with all the biggest streaming platform around the world. Is because of that we are going to build a full service production studio here in Douala to produce, to continue to produce our first segment of content, so TV shows, but also series, movies in French first, and then do dubbing to sell our contents around the world. So the studio will be live in Cameroon at the beginning of 2023, and our objective is to develop the content creation in Cameroon. We have many great talents in the creation segment, content creation segment in Cameroon, and we want to give to these people an asset, some tools we can give to everybody the opportunity to create great content.
Yeah, I mean that sounds incredible, and we definitely want to wish you the best of luck in that building. It sounds like the work that you're doing is important and exciting, especially in this moment when, like you said, I mean, my wife and I, we've watched I think a couple of Nigerian series on Netflix.
Yes, many,
yeah, which have been pretty hilarious. It's like they're like comedies, and we've enjoyed the idea of being able to tap in to different cultures from all over the world and hear their stories and just really enjoyed that. So, with Nigeria being kind of like what we know, and you're like, hey guys, like Cameroon, we have tons of talent. There's lots of opportunity here. What is some of the challenges of, okay, we're French speaking and English speaking, and then Nigeria is more English speaking, like in terms of approaching Netflix, does it matter in terms of the language or who your audience is? Like, if you do it in English, are you able to then have a broader audience, or is it like, do you do it in French because that's just what the need is?
English is the first language in the world, and it's because of that I think this platform was going first to meet English-speaking country, and they are South Africa is a very huge market, Nigeria also. I think the language is not really a barrier because we have possibility of subtitle, we have dubbing,
right.
So
right.
We will create content in French in Cameroon because like I told before, the main part of the country is French speaking, but we have also English speaking country. So we have this advantage in Cameroon, and we will try to use this advantage. So we will produce some content in French with dubbing in English, in Spanish, in Chinese, and we will also produce content in English and do the same dubbing in French also, because now the market is one. Like no matter that you are in Douala or in Chicago, we all look the same content. We look House of Dragon. We look we look what's the TV series, the Omar Sy Lupin. We look
Lupin. Yeah. We love that
series. Who is very popular in the US. So the language is not anymore a barrier now. So it's just a question of quality. So the problem in French-speaking country was just funding, was just money. So we need money and we need funding to produce great content, because you need to produce great content. You need great talents, but you need also great infrastructures. So we have many great talents, and now we need the great infrastructure. We plan also to build, to train the next generation of talent on the production segment in Africa. It's because of that in our studio we'll also have an academy to train people in all the segment of the production. So train hosts, train directors, etc., etc. Because the market is going to be huge. Like, for example, in Africa, the visual content accessible via streaming and on demand will create revenues around $2 billion by 2027. And we want to be part of that. We want to bring our contribution. People are very connected now. We still need more facilities, but now we have all. We just need really funding to be able to continue to grow as productions company in Africa. So as I was telling before, thanks also to Canal Plus, who support many content creators in the French speaking country in Africa, and also to Netflix, Disney Plus, Prime, who are dealing now with many content creators in Africa.
Yeah, it sounds like such an exciting time to be a content creator. And for everyone who's listening out there, let's get some funding, right? I mean, that's like the main.
Yes.
I mean, it's all.
Netflix just invest $63 million in South Africa, film and TV industry in South Africa. So we need now Netflix to do the same in Cameroon.
Yeah, and when you say they invest 63 million, are they investing in infrastructure? Or are they investing in like content production?
In content production. Production.
Yeah.
So they support company who have already an infrastructure and need money to create more content.
Yeah, it's really important, and this is something that 2112 has been able to establish. Is we are a model of infrastructure for creative industries, with having a film stage, having the music studios, the music production facilities, and then the businesses around it. I think that it's really important to have that physical space. And for anyone who's raising money, right, this is like, you can be like, hey, come, we have the space, we have the talent, like you said, we want to create, we have these great ideas, we just need, support and making sure the quality is high.
Yes. And we can see it now, because you have all around the world content from Korea. We are very popular. You have content from Nigeria now, from France, from Spain. So the world is big, and we need all the authenticity of every part of the world. So I need to watch a Benin story by people from Benin. I need to watch a South African story from people from South Africa. We need more of this authenticity.
Yeah, and it's great to connect with you, Brice. I enjoy hearing about the work you're doing. I enjoy your energy. It was fun when Scott said, hey, someone's coming in from Cameroon who's involved in the media industry and kind of learning about what's happening in the creative industries in Africa and Cameroon. If you were to leave young entrepreneurs some advice in terms of, hey, I want to get into media, I want to grow my own company, do you have, you already started with saying, I'm a curious person, I'm a constant learner. So I think that's definitely one that people can hold on to. Be curious. Is there anything else that you would kind of reach out or tell to young entrepreneurs?
Yes, I think also build soon as possible a good team, because you can do everything alone. You can build great and big teams alone. You need people, you need time. So find soon as possible people who can work with you and challenge your idea and help you to grow your business. You need to connect with the good people soon as possible, and also have a plan. It's very important to have a plan, and be a constant learner, and try everything every time to grow, because as a company, like in every industry, it's very important to see your business grow. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's great advice for everyone out there. I think finding talent or finding a good team is hard, right? Finding people you can trust who are hard workers, but it's absolutely essential when building a business, when growing a business. I think that's great, and definitely
And
making. Go ahead.
yes, and in the beginning, I think you need passionate people who are passionate and who want to learn. The level of your team at the beginning is not really important, because you have to learn and your team will learn also. So take people who are passionate about your business, who have the same goal and the same vision as you, and grow with these people.
That's great advice. Yeah, the intro passionate people is better than the hard, who knows everything, like, right? You can really grow together. I think
Yes,
that's
yes, yes.
yeah, that's great advice. Well, Brice, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. It's wonderful to learn about your work, to learn a little bit about the creative industries in Africa and in Cameroon. I look forward to staying in touch and, watching you as you grow, the infrastructure and the businesses around that in Cameroon. So thanks again.
Yeah, thank you very much, Daniel. Sorry about my English. I am working hard on my English, so I think next time my English will be better.
Well, I have to say, please don't apologize. Your English is fantastic, way better than my French. So I think you have me beat on that. And yeah, please don't worry about that. But yeah, it's great. It's great.
Merci beaucoup, Daniel.
Yeah,
Et à bientôt au Cameroun, j'espère. À bientôt au Cameroun.
nice, fantastic. All right, Brice, take care. Thank you again.
Can't wait to welcome you in Cameroon. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you. What a wonderful conversation with Brice Albin of YProd. He's building infrastructure in the creative industries in Cameroon. He speaks English great. He speaks French great. He speaks all the languages. And just what a interesting insight into what's happening in Africa, right? $63 million invested from Netflix into South Africa. As he mentioned, the industry is becoming one, right? Doesn't matter what language you speak. You can do subtitles. You can do dub overs. Creating great content is on a couple platforms, like he mentioned, right? Like everyone's on Netflix, everyone's on Amazon Prime. These are massive media companies that are kind of bringing the world together, and also allowing content producers to have a platform where they can go global. Again, my name is Daniel Crane. I'm the program director of the Center for Creative Entrepreneurship. And this was another episode of Global Industry Spotlight, a conversational series focused on providing resources and insight for the creative entrepreneur. We are streaming out of the Comcast Business Startup Studio located at 2112, Chicago's first music, film, and tech incubator. Thank you to Comcast Business and Shore for providing the tools necessary to make our programming possible, and our partner Dell Technologies for startups. Visit cceglobal.org to register for free workshops offered by our partners. Find us on Instagram and Facebook, and tune in next Monday for another episode of Global Industry Spotlight with Ricardo Rodriguez from Let's Gig Brazil, a manager and curator of Brazilian music. It's going to be a wonderful conversation. Wishing everyone a great rest of their week. We will talk with you soon, and take care. Ciao.